Welcome back to Rare U.S. Coins, the place where hidden treasures of American pocket change come to life and where an ordinary coin can turn into an extraordinary fortune. Today we are exploring one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in modern American coin collecting, the 1967 Liberty Quarter Dollar. At first glance, this coin may appear like a normal piece of change that millions of Americans once carried in their pockets during the late 1960s, but behind this simple appearance lies a story filled with history, rarity, collector excitement, and astonishing market value. Many people have unknowingly spent this coin in stores, placed it in jars, or forgotten it in old drawers without realizing that some rare examples of the 1967 Liberty Quarter Dollar can be worth an incredible amount of money in the collector's market today. Some rare high-grade pieces and exceptional collectible specimens have reached astonishing estimated market values around $779,371, making this humble coin one of the most talked about modern quarters among coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. To understand why the 1967 Liberty Quarter Dollar has become so desirable, we must travel back to the mid-1960s, a time when the United States was facing a serious coin shortage. Silver prices were rising and people began hoarding coins because their metal value was increasing. In response, the United States Mint made a historic decision in 1965 to remove silver from circulating quarters and replace it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. This change marked the end of an era for American coinage. The 1967 quarter was produced during this transitional period when the Mint was working overtime to produce massive quantities of coins to solve the nationwide shortage. Because of the coin crisis at the time, the Mint also removed mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967 in order to discourage collectors from hoarding newly minted coins. That means the 1967 quarter does not show the usual mint mark letters such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco, which makes identifying special varieties more challenging and interesting for collectors. The design of the 1967 Liberty Quarter continues the classic image introduced decades earlier. On the front of the coin we see the powerful and elegant profile of Liberty facing left. Her hair flows naturally and the word Liberty appears above her head while the phrase "I and God We Trust" sits proudly beside her portrait. Below the image we find the year 1967, marking a historic moment in American coin production. On the reverse side of the coin we see the iconic American eagle spreading its wings in a symbol of strength and freedom. The eagle clutches arrows representing readiness to defend the nation while olive branches symbolize peace. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions United States of America and Quarter Dollar, reminding us that this coin represents 25 cents of American currency, though in the collector's market its value can reach thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on condition and rarity. The reason certain 1967 quarters can reach extremely high values comes down to several important factors that collectors always look for. One of the most critical factors is condition. Coins that have never been circulated and still retain their original mint luster are known as mint state coins. These coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional grading companies. A typical worn 1967 quarter found in circulation might only be worth face value, but a coin graded MS-67 or higher with exceptional eye appeal, perfect surfaces, and sharp details can become incredibly rare. When collectors compete to add the finest known examples to their collections, prices can rise dramatically. Another factor that makes the 1967 Liberty Quarter exciting for collectors is the possibility of mint errors and rare varieties. During periods of extremely high production such as the mid-1960s, small mistakes in the minting process sometimes occurred. These mistakes can create coins with doubled designs, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or unusual surface characteristics. Error coins are often extremely rare and collectors are willing to pay significant amounts of money to own them. Some rare 1967 quarters with unusual striking characteristics or exceptional preservation have attracted strong attention in auctions and private collector markets. The metal composition of the 1967 quarter also tells an interesting story about the evolution of American currency. Unlike earlier quarters made from 90% silver, the 1967 coin is composed of layers of copper and nickel bonded together. The outer layers are copper-nickel while the inner core is pure copper. This change allowed the United States Mint to produce coins more economically while still maintaining durability for everyday use. Although these coins no longer contain silver, their rarity in top condition and their historical significance have made them highly collectible in modern times. The collector's market for rare American coins has grown tremendously over the past several decades. Many people who once ignored old coins have discovered that some pieces can be worth life-changing amounts of money. Auctions have revealed surprising results when rare coins appear in exceptional condition. The 1967 Liberty Quarter Dollar is one of those coins that continues to capture the attention of collectors and investors alike. When a perfectly preserved example surfaces, bidding can become extremely competitive as collectors strive to obtain one of the finest pieces available. This intense demand is one of the reasons why the estimated current market value for the rarest known specimens can approach $779, $371. For treasure hunters and everyday people watching this video, the exciting part is that these coins were originally produced in massive quantities and circulated widely throughout the United States. That means it is still possible for someone to discover a valuable coin hiding in an old collection, a family coin jar, a forgotten piggy bank, or even pocket change. Many incredible coin discoveries have happened exactly this way. Someone decides to examine their coins more carefully and suddenly realizes they may be holding something far more valuable than they ever imagined. When examining a 1967 quarter, collectors recommend looking closely at the coin under good lighting and magnification. Pay attention to the sharpness of Liberty's hair, the feathers of the eagle, and the overall luster of the surface. Coins with bright original shine and minimal scratches often command the highest prices. Professional coin grading services can also authenticate and grade valuable coins, which helps establish their true market value and increases buyer confidence when they appear in auctions. The story of the 1967 Liberty Quarter Dollar reminds us that history is often hidden in the smallest everyday objects. A simple coin that once bought a piece of candy or a newspaper decades ago can now represent a remarkable piece of American history and a potential fortune for collectors. Every detail on the coin reflects the era in which it was created, from the removal of silver during the coin shortage to the temporary elimination of mint marks in an effort to stabilize the nation's currency supply. Here on Rare U.S. Coins, we love uncovering these incredible stories and sharing them with coin lovers around the world. The next time you come across an old quarter in a drawer, a coin roll, or a jar of spare change, take a moment to look closely. That small piece of metal could carry a fascinating story and perhaps even a surprising value waiting to be discovered. Coins like the 1967 Liberty Quarter Dollar prove that the world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures and exciting possibilities. Thank you for watching Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins in the world of coin collecting, the legendary Liberty Quarter Dollar from the year 1941. Many people have seen old quarters before, many people have even spent them without thinking twice, but what most people do not realize is that some of these coins can be worth an incredible amount of money. Yes, a single 1941 Liberty Quarter Dollar that once circulated through everyday American life can now reach an astonishing market value of about $779,371 depending on rarity, condition, and special mint characteristics. That number might sound unbelievable, but in the world of rare coins, history, condition, and collector demand can transform small pieces of metal into valuable pieces of American heritage. The 1941 Liberty Quarter Dollar belongs to one of the most admired coin designs in United States history. This coin is officially known among collectors as the walking Liberty style influence that inspired American coin artistry during the early 20th century. By 1941, the United States was standing on the edge of a major historical moment as the world moved deeper into World War II. Coins produced during this time represent more than money. They represent a nation's story, its economy, its struggles, and its resilience. When collectors hold a 1941 Liberty Quarter today, they are holding a piece of that powerful moment in history. The design of the coin is one of the reasons it has become so admired and so valuable among collectors. On the front side of the coin, Liberty appears standing proudly, symbolizing freedom, strength, and hope. The elegant details of Liberty's figure were created with remarkable artistic precision, showing flowing lines and powerful symbolism that defined American coin design during that era. The word liberty appears boldly across the top of the coin, reminding every American of the values the nation was built upon. Beneath the design appears the date 1941, a small number that today carries enormous importance in the coin collecting market. Turning the coin over reveals another beautiful design element that collectors love. The reverse side of the 1941 Liberty Quarter displays the majestic eagle, wings spread wide as a symbol of American power and independence. The eagle stands firmly on a bundle of arrows, representing strength and readiness to defend the nation, while olive branches symbolize peace. This balance between strength and peace reflects the ideals that the United States hoped to maintain during one of the most turbulent periods in global history. In 1941, millions of these quarters were produced at United States Mint facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. At the time, these coins were simply part of everyday commerce. People used them to buy groceries, pay for transportation, or purchase small necessities of daily life. No one imagined that decades later collectors around the world would be searching desperately for the finest examples of these coins. Most of the coins produced were heavily circulated, worn down through years of handling and spending. Because of this, coins that survived in exceptional condition are incredibly rare today. Condition is one of the biggest factors that determines the value of a 1941 Liberty Quarter. Coins that remained untouched, carefully preserved, or stored away in collections can reach extraordinary prices at auctions. Professional grading services examine every detail of a coin under magnification, looking for sharpness in the design, clarity of the lettering, and the original luster of the metal surface. When a 1941 Liberty Quarter receives a high mint state grade, collectors become extremely interested, and that is when prices can rise dramatically. Another factor that drives the price of this coin is the presence of mint marks. Coins produced in Denver typically carry a small d mint mark, while those produced in San Francisco carry an S mint mark. Philadelphia coins usually do not carry a mint mark at all. Some mint mark varieties are far rarer than others depending on how many coins were originally produced and how many have survived in excellent condition. Collectors carefully examine these tiny mint marks because they can make the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Errors and special variations can also increase the value of a 1941 Liberty Quarter dramatically. During the minting process, small mistakes sometimes occur. These might include doubled lettering, misaligned strikes, or unusual metal characteristics. While mistakes are usually undesirable in many industries, in the world of coin collecting these minting errors can create some of the most valuable coins ever discovered. A rare error on a 1941 Liberty Quarter can transform it into a collector's dream and drive its value into astonishing territory. The modern coin market has grown rapidly over the last several decades. Collectors from around the world participate in auctions, online marketplaces, and professional coin shows searching for the rarest pieces of American coinage. The 1941 Liberty Quarter has become one of those coins that collectors never ignore. When a high-quality specimen appears on the market, the competition between buyers can become intense. That competition is exactly what pushes prices higher and higher, sometimes reaching incredible numbers like the current market value estimate of $779,371 for the most exceptional examples. But the story of the 1941 Liberty Quarter is not only about money. It is also about history, artistry, and the thrill of discovery. Imagine finding an old coin collection in a family drawer or a forgotten box in the attic and discovering a beautiful 1941 Liberty Quarter hidden among ordinary change. Stories like this have happened many times in the coin collecting world. What looks like a simple quarter could actually be a rare treasure waiting to be recognized. Collectors often describe coin hunting as a treasure hunt through history. Every coin carries the marks of the time in which it was created. The scratches, the wear, and the shine of the metal all tell a story about where that coin has traveled. A 1941 Liberty Quarter might have passed through thousands of hands before finally reaching a collector who understands its true value. That journey is part of what makes coin collecting so fascinating and so rewarding. For anyone interested in searching for valuable coins, learning how to identify important details is essential. Look closely at the date on the coin. Examine the mint mark. Study the condition of the design and the sharpness of Liberty's features. Even small differences can have a major impact on value. Many collectors use magnifying glasses or digital microscopes to inspect coins carefully. The more knowledge a collector gains, the better their chances of discovering a rare and valuable piece. The demand for classic American coins continues to grow as more collectors enter the market every year. Historic coins like the 1941 Liberty Quarter represent a connection to the past that cannot be recreated. Unlike modern coins produced in massive numbers, older coins were part of a different era of craftsmanship and history. That uniqueness makes them highly desirable among serious collectors and investors. As we look at the incredible potential value of $779,371 for a rare 1941 Liberty Quarter, it becomes clear why collectors remain so passionate about searching for these coins. A small piece of silver created more than 80 years ago can still capture the imagination of people around the world. It reminds us that history can live inside even the smallest objects. So the next time you look through old coins, check your pocket change, or explore a family coin collection, remember that hidden treasures may be waiting to be discovered. The legendary 1941 Liberty Quarter dollar could be closer than you think, and finding one in exceptional condition could change everything. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are diving into a fascinating coin that many people have seen but very few truly understand the potential of, and that coin is the 1973 Liberty Quarter dollar from the United States. At first glance, the 1973 quarter may look like just another common coin that has circulated through cash registers, wallets, and piggy banks for decades, but collectors and coin hunters know that some examples of this coin can be worth far more than 25 cents. In fact, rare high-quality pieces and special collector examples of the 1973 Liberty Quarter dollar have reached astonishing market levels, with values reported around $779,372 in exceptional collectible conditions, making this coin a subject of excitement among numismatists and treasure hunters around the world. The story of the 1973 Liberty Quarter dollar begins long before the year 1973 itself. The design of this quarter comes from the famous Washington Quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. The portrait of Washington on the front of the coin quickly became one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. By the time the 1973 quarter was minted, the design had already become a symbol of stability and national heritage. The obverse of the coin shows the powerful profile of George Washington facing left, surrounded by the inscriptions "Liberty" above his head, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date 1973 below. This simple yet elegant design has remained one of the most iconic images in American coin history. Turning the coin over reveals the classic reverse design that collectors admire. On the back of the 1973 Liberty Quarter dollar stands the proud American eagle with wings spread wide, holding arrows in its talons and olive branches below as symbols of strength and peace. Above the eagle you can see the words United States of America and the denomination quarter dollar. This design represents the power, unity, and enduring spirit of the United States, and it has fascinated coin collectors for generations. Now let us talk about what makes the 1973 Liberty Quarter dollar so interesting to collectors and why some of these coins can reach incredible values. Most quarters minted in 1973 were produced for circulation in very large numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, meaning millions of coins entered everyday use across the country. Because of this, many people assume the coin has little collectible value. However, the world of coin collecting is filled with surprises. When a coin survives in extremely high-grade condition without scratches, wear, or damage, its rarity increases dramatically. Collectors pay extraordinary prices for coins that appear almost perfect even after decades of existence. The metal composition of the 1973 quarter is another part of its story. Like most quarters produced after 1965, the coin was made from a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than silver. The outer layers consist of copper-nickel while the core is pure copper. Although the coin does not contain silver, high-grade examples still command impressive prices due to rarity of preservation and collector demand. Many coins were heavily circulated, but a small number remained untouched in bank rolls, mint sets, or private collections, preserving their original luster and detail. Another reason why the 1973 Liberty quarter dollar attracts attention in the collector market is the possibility of mint errors. Throughout history, the minting process has occasionally produced coins with unique mistakes such as off-center strikes, double dies, misaligned dies, or unusual planchet errors. When such errors appear on a coin like the 1973 quarter, collectors become extremely interested because each error coin is unique. These unusual pieces can command thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on their rarity and visual appeal. The coin collecting market has grown dramatically over the years, and rare quarters are among the most popular coins in American numismatics. Professional grading services carefully examine coins and assign them grades based on their condition. A coin graded in near-perfect condition can reach remarkable values in auctions and private sales. In recent years, some extremely rare and perfectly preserved examples of the 1973 Liberty quarter dollar have been associated with estimated values reaching around $779,372 in the high-end collector market, especially when exceptional condition, rarity, and collector demand combine. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for hidden treasures in their coin jars and old collections. The excitement comes from the possibility that a coin overlooked for decades might actually be worth a fortune. Many stories exist of people discovering valuable coins in inherited collections, estate sales, or even loose change. The 1973 Liberty quarter dollar is one of those coins that encourages collectors to look closely at every detail, from the shine of the surface to the sharpness of the eagle feathers. Another fascinating aspect of this coin is its place in the historical timeline of American currency. The early 1970s were a period of change in the United States economy and society. Coinage continued evolving with new technology and increased production to meet the demands of a growing population. The 1973 quarter stands as a small but meaningful piece of that history, representing the era when modern-clad coinage had firmly replaced the earlier silver coins of the mid-20th century. The coin market itself operates almost like a treasure economy. Collectors, dealers, investors, and historians all participate in auctions and private trades where rare coins exchange hands for extraordinary sums. When a coin like the 1973 Liberty quarter dollar appears in exceptional condition, excitement spreads quickly through the numismatic community. Auctions can attract bidders from across the globe, each hoping to secure a piece of American history. If you happen to own a 1973 Liberty quarter dollar, it is always worth taking a closer look. Check the condition of the coin carefully. Look for strong details in Washington's hair, sharp lettering, and a clear eagle on the reverse side. Also pay attention to mint marks and unusual characteristics that could indicate a rare variation or mint error. Even though many 1973 quarters are common, a small number can carry significant value depending on their condition and rarity. Coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It is a journey into history, art, economics, and discovery. Every coin tells a story about the time in which it was created and the people who used it. The 1973 Liberty quarter dollar reminds us that even everyday objects can hold incredible hidden value. Here on Rare US Coins, we love sharing these amazing stories with collectors and treasure hunters everywhere. Coins that once passed quietly from hand to hand can suddenly become the center of attention in the collector world. The thrill of finding a rare coin is something that keeps collectors searching, learning, and exploring the fascinating world of numismatics. So the next time you look through your pocket change or open an old coin jar, remember that history might be sitting right in front of you. The 1973 Liberty quarter dollar may appear simple, but in the right condition and with the right characteristics it can become a coin worth an astonishing $779,372 in today's collector market. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into a fascinating coin that many people have seen but very few truly understand, the Liberty-themed United States quarter dollar from the year 1974. At first glance, the 1974 quarter might appear like just another coin that passed through millions of hands during the 1970s, jingling in pockets, dropping into vending machines, and circulating across the country during a time of cultural change and economic challenge in the United States. But what if one of those simple quarters could actually be worth an astonishing market value of $779,373? That is the incredible possibility collectors and coin hunters dream about when they examine a 1974 quarter carefully under the light. The story of the United States quarter dollar is deeply connected to the history of America itself. The design used on the 1974 quarter traces its roots back to the famous Washington quarter series first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. Over the decades, the Washington quarter became one of the most recognizable coins in American history. By the time 1974 arrived, the coin had already seen several changes in composition and production methods. Earlier quarters minted before 1965 contained 90% silver, but beginning in 1965 the United States Mint changed the metal composition to a copper-nickel clad structure due to rising silver prices and the need to preserve precious metals. The 1974 quarter therefore belongs to the clad era of U.S. coinage, yet despite not containing silver, certain rare examples from this year can still reach incredible values in the collector's market. The design of the 1974 quarter remains one of the most iconic images ever placed on an American coin. On the front of the coin is the powerful portrait of President George Washington facing left, a symbol of leadership, independence, and the founding spirit of the United States. The word liberty appears boldly above his head, representing the core principle upon which the nation was built. The phrase "In God We Trust" is displayed beside the portrait, while the date 1974 sits below, quietly marking the year this coin entered circulation. On the reverse side you will find the majestic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing the balance between strength and peace. Surrounding the eagle are the words United States of America and quarter dollar, completing a design that collectors have admired for generations. Now here is where the story becomes truly exciting for coin hunters and collectors. While millions of 1974 quarters were produced at different mint facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, a very small number of coins from this year display unusual minting characteristics, rare errors, or exceptionally preserved surfaces that elevate their value far beyond their original 25-cent denomination. Coin grading plays a huge role in determining value. A quarter that circulated heavily for years may only be worth its face value or a small premium. But a pristine example graded at the highest mint state levels can command prices that shock even experienced collectors. Imagine holding a coin that looks nearly identical to millions of others, yet under magnification it reveals razor-sharp details, brilliant luster, and a flawless surface untouched by time. These top-grade coins can reach auction prices that climb dramatically due to collector demand and rarity at those levels of preservation. Some rare mint-era versions of the 1974 quarter, including double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet errors, have created enormous excitement in the numismatic community. When such an error coin is discovered in extraordinary condition, collectors compete fiercely to add it to their collections. This intense competition is exactly what drives the market value of rare coins. The coin market operates on the principle of rarity, demand, and historical significance. When a coin like a 1974 quarter appears with a unique feature or an exceptional grade, collectors recognize that only a handful may exist in the world. That realization transforms an ordinary coin into a coveted collectible. Over time, as collectors search harder and the finest examples disappear into private collections, the market price can climb dramatically. This is how a coin originally worth just 25 cents can reach a remarkable estimated market value of $779,373. The thrill of coin collecting lies in the possibility that rare treasures may still be hiding in everyday places. Many valuable coins have been discovered in old jars, inherited collections, pocket change, or forgotten drawers. A 1974 quarter sitting quietly in a coin jar might seem completely ordinary, but a closer inspection could reveal something extraordinary. Serious collectors often use magnifying tools and proper lighting to examine coins carefully, looking for sharp details in Washington's hair, clear lettering, strong strikes on the eagle, and surfaces free of scratches or damage. Another important factor influencing value is mint location. Coins from the Denver Mint carry a small D mint mark on the front, while Philadelphia coins from that era were produced without a mint mark. The San Francisco Mint also produced special proof versions intended for collectors. Each mint produced coins with slight variations, and some of those variations become extremely desirable among specialists who focus on particular mint years and varieties. The year 1974 itself sits within a fascinating moment in American economic history. The United States was experiencing inflation and energy crises, yet everyday commerce continued to rely heavily on coins like the quarter dollar. People used these coins to pay for bus rides, parking meters, arcade games, and countless small purchases. Today those same coins serve as miniature historical artifacts that remind us of daily life in the 1970s. Holding a 1974 quarter is like holding a small piece of that era, a tangible connection to the past that traveled across the nation decades ago. For collectors and treasure hunters watching this video on rare U.S. coins, the message is simple but powerful. Never underestimate the coins you encounter in everyday life. Valuable pieces can hide among ordinary change, waiting patiently for someone curious enough to look closer. The next time you receive a quarter in change, pause for a moment and check the date. If you spot a 1974 quarter, examine it carefully. Look at the shine, the sharpness of the design, and any unusual characteristics. That small coin could potentially be a hidden gem in the vast world of numismatics. Coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It is a journey through history, art, economics, and discovery. Every coin tells a story about the time in which it was created, the people who used it, and the collectors who later preserved it. The 1974 Liberty-themed Washington quarter dollar represents one of those stories, a reminder that even modern coins can carry enormous value when rarity, condition, and collector demand come together. Thank you for joining us today on Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that collectors and treasure hunters continue searching for across the United States, the legendary 1980 Liberty quarter dollar. At first glance this coin may appear to be just another ordinary piece of American currency, something that may have passed through countless hands in grocery stores, banks, vending machines, and piggy banks for decades. But what many people do not realize is that certain examples of the 1980 Liberty quarter dollar have become extremely desirable in the collector's market and can reach astonishing prices. Some rare high-grade examples and special varieties have been valued in the market at around $779,341, making this small silver-colored coin a powerful reminder that history, rarity, and condition can transform a simple coin into a life-changing treasure. The story of the Liberty quarter dollar series is deeply connected with the history of American coinage and the pride of the United States Mint. The quarter dollar denomination has been part of American currency since the late 18th century, but the Liberty-themed designs became symbols of freedom and national identity. Over the years the design evolved and collectors around the world developed a passion for preserving these coins as historical artifacts. By the time the 1980 Liberty quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, the United States Mint had already produced billions of quarters for circulation, yet among these millions there were always a few exceptional pieces that stood out due to perfect preservation, minting anomalies, or rare production characteristics. The 1980 quarter carries the mark of the Denver Mint, represented by the small letter D on the coin. This mint facility has played a crucial role in American coin production since the early 20th century and has produced billions of coins used across the country. The 1980 production year was significant because the United States was entering a new economic era, inflation was rising, and the price of metals was attracting attention worldwide. Despite the massive number of coins produced that year, collectors eventually realized that pristine high-grade examples of the 1980 Liberty quarter were surprisingly difficult to find. The design of the Liberty quarter reflects the enduring symbolism of American freedom and strength. On the obverse side the portrait represents the spirit of liberty, the same symbol that has inspired generations of Americans since the nation's earliest days. The elegant lettering, the date 1980, and the subtle mint mark from Denver together create a coin that reflects both craftsmanship and national heritage. On the reverse side the iconic American eagle stands proud, representing power, courage, and unity. This classic design has captured the attention of coin collectors for decades, and when combined with rarity and condition it becomes one of the most exciting coins to study and collect. Now let us talk about the most exciting part that every viewer of rare U.S. coins loves to hear about: the value. The majority of 1980 Liberty Quarter coins circulated heavily for many years, meaning they show signs of wear from daily use. These typical circulated coins may only be worth a small amount above their face value. However, the story changes dramatically when we look at coins preserved in exceptional condition. Coins graded at the highest mint state levels can reach astonishing prices because collectors compete intensely for the best-known examples. In the modern collector's market, a top-condition 1980 Liberty Quarter has been discussed with extraordinary value estimates reaching as high as $779,341 when rarity, demand, and pristine preservation combine. Such prices are generally associated with coins that have nearly flawless surfaces, sharp details, brilliant luster, and sometimes unique minting characteristics that make them stand out from the millions produced. These extraordinary coins are often stored in protective holders and certified by professional grading services, which carefully evaluate every detail under magnification. Another reason the 1980 Liberty Quarter can become extremely valuable is the possibility of mint errors. Throughout the history of coin production, the minting process occasionally produces unusual variations such as doubled designs, off-center strikes, or other rare anomalies. When these rare features appear on a coin that is already difficult to find in perfect condition, the value can skyrocket. Collectors love these unusual pieces because they represent unique moments in the minting process, making each coin a one-of-a-kind historical artifact. The coin collecting market continues to grow as more people realize that valuable coins might still be hiding in everyday places. Many collectors began their journey simply by examining the coins they received in change. Imagine discovering a 1980 Liberty Quarter that had been sitting unnoticed in a jar of coins for years, only to realize that its condition and rarity could place its value near the incredible market level of $779,341. Stories like these fuel the excitement of the hobby and inspire thousands of collectors to search through their coins every day. Another fascinating aspect of the 1980 Liberty Quarter is the role of preservation. Coins that were stored carefully from the moment they were minted have a much better chance of surviving in mint state condition. Sometimes bank rolls, coin collections, or forgotten savings boxes contain coins that have never been circulated. When these coins are finally rediscovered decades later, they can appear almost exactly as they did the day they left the Denver Mint in 1980. For collectors and investors, these discoveries are extremely exciting because pristine examples become rarer every year. The global coin market has also played an important role in increasing interest in American coins. Collectors from around the world admire United States coinage for its historical significance and artistic design. As international demand grows, rare American coins like the 1980 Liberty Quarter attract more attention from auctions, investors, and numismatic experts. When multiple collectors compete for the same rare coin, the price can rise dramatically, sometimes reaching levels that surprise even experienced collectors. For viewers of rare U.S. coins, this coin represents more than just a piece of metal. It represents a journey through American history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. Every scratch, every detail, and every glimmer of luster tells a story about where the coin has been and how it survived through decades of circulation and storage. Some coins traveled through thousands of transactions while others remained hidden away in collections waiting to be rediscovered. If you are passionate about coin collecting, the 1980 Liberty Quarter dollar is a perfect reminder to always check your change. Rare coins have been found in unexpected places, including old piggy banks, inherited collections, antique shops, and even ordinary bank rolls. The difference between an ordinary coin and an extraordinary treasure can sometimes be as simple as condition, mint mark, or a tiny minting detail that only a careful observer will notice. The excitement of the coin market continues to grow every year, and collectors around the world are constantly searching for the next hidden gem. The possibility that a small quarter minted more than 40 years ago could reach a market value of $779,341 makes the hunt even more thrilling. Whether you are a beginner just starting your coin collecting journey or an experienced numismatist with years of knowledge, coins like the 1980 Liberty Quarter remind us that the world of rare coins is full of surprises waiting to be discovered. Thank you for joining Rare US Coins. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of the Liberty Quarter dollar with the mint mark P from the year 1981, a coin that many people have seen, many have spent without thinking, yet collectors know that certain examples of this coin can be incredibly valuable and historically meaningful. When we talk about American coins, the quarter dollar has always been one of the most iconic pieces of currency ever produced in the United States. From the early days of the nation to modern circulation, quarters have carried the images, history, and identity of America in the palms of millions of people. The 1981 Liberty quarter dollar minted in Philadelphia represents an important chapter in that long tradition, and today collectors around the world are paying very close attention to this coin because of its rarity in high grade, its historical context, and its surprising market value that has reached an astonishing level of $779,374 for exceptional specimens in the collector market. To understand why the 1981 Liberty quarter dollar has captured the attention of collectors, we first need to travel back in time and explore the history behind the coin itself. The design of the Liberty-themed American quarters comes from a legacy of classical American artistry that symbolized freedom, independence, and the ideals upon which the nation was founded. The image of liberty has appeared on numerous American coins throughout history, representing hope, democracy, and the spirit of the country. By the time the 1981 quarter was struck, the United States Mint had already produced billions of quarter dollars for circulation, yet each year and each mint produced subtle differences that collectors now study very carefully. The Philadelphia Mint, represented by the mint mark P in modern coin identification, played a major role in producing coins for the American economy. In 1981 the minting process used advanced technology compared to earlier decades, but that does not mean every coin came out perfect. In fact, tiny variations during the striking process created coins with unique characteristics. Some coins were struck with sharper details, stronger luster, and nearly flawless surfaces, while others entered circulation quickly and became worn. This difference between ordinary circulation coins and extremely well-preserved coins is exactly what creates massive differences in value within the collector market. The 1981 Liberty quarter dollar was produced during a time when the United States economy was undergoing significant changes. Inflation, shifting metal prices, and increasing collector interest were all influencing how coins were viewed by the public. Most of the quarters produced in 1981 were intended for everyday use in vending machines, cash registers, and pockets across the country. Millions of people carried these coins without realizing that decades later some of them would become rare collectibles sought by serious numismatists. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1981 Liberty quarter dollar is how condition dramatically affects its value. In everyday circulated condition the coin may appear very common and may only be worth its face value in daily transactions. However, when a coin survives decades without scratches, without wear, and with original mint brilliance, collectors classify it as a high-grade specimen. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services become extremely rare because very few examples survive in such perfect condition. This is where the story becomes truly exciting. In the rare coin market, a top-grade example of the 1981 Liberty quarter dollar has been associated with an incredible collector value reaching around $779,374. That number might sound unbelievable for a quarter dollar, but in the world of rare coins extraordinary condition, rarity, and demand can push prices to astonishing heights. When collectors compete for the finest known examples of a coin, auctions can become intense, with buyers willing to pay huge amounts to own a piece of American numismatic history. The design of the coin itself also contributes to its appeal. The obverse side of the Liberty quarter presents the powerful image of liberty, symbolizing freedom and strength. The details of the hair, the lettering, and the texture of the design reflect the craftsmanship of the United States Mint. On the reverse side the coin carries the emblematic American imagery that connects the coin to national pride and identity. For collectors, these artistic elements make the coin not just a piece of metal but a miniature historical artifact. Another reason collectors are fascinated with the 1981 Liberty quarter is the possibility of discovering valuable mint errors or exceptional strike qualities. Throughout the minting process, small irregularities sometimes occur, producing coins with double details, unusual textures, or striking differences that make them even more collectible. When such unique coins are discovered decades later, their rarity can multiply their value dramatically. Many coin collectors carefully examine every quarter they find, hoping to discover one of these hidden treasures. The market for rare American coins has grown tremendously over the past several decades. Auction houses, collectors, investors, and historians all participate in this global marketplace. Coins once used to buy a cup of coffee are now displayed in protective holders, studied under magnification, and traded among collectors who appreciate both their artistic beauty and historical importance. The 1981 Liberty Quarter Dollar stands as a perfect example of how everyday currency can transform into a valuable collectible over time. Collectors often advise beginners to check their pocket change, old jars of coins, inherited collections, and forgotten piggy banks. It may sound surprising, but some of the most valuable coins ever discovered were found in ordinary places. A coin that appears completely normal could turn out to be an extremely rare high-grade example or an unusual mint variety. Because of that possibility, coin collecting has become an exciting treasure hunt for people around the world. For viewers of rare U.S. coins, the story of the 1981 Liberty Quarter Dollar reminds us that history is often hidden in the smallest objects. Every coin carries the mark of the era in which it was produced, reflecting the technology, economy, and culture of its time. When collectors preserve these coins, they are also preserving pieces of American history. As the rare coin market continues to grow, the demand for exceptional examples of coins like the 1981 Liberty Quarter Dollar may continue to rise. Serious collectors are always searching for the finest specimens available, and when a coin with outstanding quality appears in an auction, the bidding competition can drive the price to remarkable levels. This is exactly how certain coins reach values like $779,374, turning an ordinary quarter into an extraordinary collector treasure. So the next time you see a quarter in your pocket, remember that it could carry more than just 25 cents of spending power. It could hold a story, a piece of history, or even the potential to become a valuable collectible in the future. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and sometimes the most unexpected treasures are hiding in plain sight. Thank you for joining Rare U.S. Coins today as we explored the incredible story behind the 1981 Liberty Quarter Dollar. If you love discovering hidden coin values, rare mint stories, and the fascinating history behind American currency, make sure you continue exploring the amazing world of coin collecting with us. Because in the world of rare coins, every small piece of metal has the potential to tell a very big story. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins that many people have seen but very few truly understand, the 1982 Liberty Quarter Dollar from the United States of America. At first glance, this coin may look like just another quarter that once moved through the hands of millions of Americans buying coffee, groceries, or gasoline, but collectors and coin hunters know that some of these coins can be worth far more than their face value. In fact, under the right conditions and in the right market environment, a rare example of the 1982 Liberty Quarter has been known to reach an astonishing market value of $779,342, making it one of the most surprising and exciting discoveries a collector could ever imagine. To understand why the 1982 Liberty Quarter has captured the attention of collectors across the world, we must first travel back to the early 1980s. The United States was going through a period of economic change. Inflation had been a major concern during the late 1970s, and the mint was working hard to produce the coins needed for everyday commerce. In 1982, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Washington Liberty Quarter Dollars, yet this year would become historically important for several reasons. One of the most interesting facts about coins produced in 1982 is that the United States Mint stopped including mint sets for collectors, which meant that many coins from this year entered circulation directly and were heavily used in daily transactions. Because of this, finding high-quality examples of 1982 quarters today has become increasingly difficult. The Liberty Quarter Dollar design itself carries deep American symbolism. On the front of the coin you see the iconic portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States, a symbol of leadership, independence, and the birth of a nation. This portrait was originally designed by the talented sculptor John Flanagan and first appeared on the quarter in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. By 1982 the design had already been a familiar part of American currency for 50 years, yet its elegance and strength continued to inspire collectors and historians alike. look closely at the obverse of the 1982p Liberty Quarter and you will notice the word Liberty proudly displayed across the top, representing one of the most powerful ideals in American history. Below the portrait you will find the date 1982, marking the year this coin was struck. The small letter P near the portrait represents the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most important mint facilities in the United States. For many decades Philadelphia coins did not carry a mint mark at all, but by the 1980s the P mint mark had become a standard way to identify coins produced there. Now turn the coin over and the reverse design reveals the powerful American eagle with wings spread wide. The eagle is clutching arrows and olive branches, representing both the strength and the peace of the nation. Surrounding the eagle are the words United States of America and quarter dollar, confirming the denomination and origin of the coin. This design has been admired for generations and remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage, but the real excitement surrounding the 1982p Liberty Quarter lies not only in its design but in its rarity and high-grade condition. Because most of these coins circulated heavily during the 1980s and 1990s, the majority show significant wear, scratches, and fading details. Coins that survived in near-perfect condition are extremely scarce. When collectors discover a 1982p quarter that still has sharp details, strong luster, and minimal contact marks, it immediately becomes a valuable prize in the numismatic world. Professional grading plays a major role in determining the value of these coins. Experts examine the coin under magnification and assign a grade based on preservation and visual appeal. Coins graded in the highest mint state categories can command extraordinary prices at auctions and private sales. When collectors compete to own the finest known examples, prices can rise dramatically. This is exactly how certain rare specimens of the 1982p Liberty Quarter have reached an incredible market value of $779,342. Another reason collectors are fascinated by the 1982p quarter is the possibility of mint errors and unusual varieties. During the coin production process, small mistakes can occur, creating coins with doubled letters, off-center strikes, or unusual metal flow patterns. These errors are often discovered years later by sharp-eyed collectors searching through rolls of coins or inherited collections. A rare error combined with a high-grade condition can turn an ordinary-looking quarter into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. The market for rare United States coins has grown dramatically in recent decades. Collectors from America, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East actively search for key date coins and exceptional specimens. Auction houses and online marketplaces have made it easier than ever for collectors to buy and sell rare coins, and competition for the finest examples has pushed prices to astonishing heights. The 1982p Liberty Quarter is one of those coins that reminds collectors that even modern-era coins can carry enormous value. Many people are surprised to learn that valuable coins can still be hiding in everyday places. Old jars of change, forgotten piggy banks, inherited coin albums, and even pocket change can sometimes reveal hidden treasures. The excitement of coin collecting comes from this very possibility. Every coin has a story, and every collector hopes that the next coin they examine might be a rare discovery worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. For collectors who are searching for the 1982p Liberty Quarter, the key is patience and careful observation. Examine the details of the coin, look for sharp lines in the hair of Washington, strong lettering in the word Liberty, and a bright original shine across the surface. Coins that appear almost untouched by circulation are the ones that have the greatest potential value. Even if you find a circulated example, it still holds historical significance and represents an important year in modern American coinage. The world of rare coins is filled with surprises, and the story of the 1982p Liberty Quarter proves that even a simple quarter can become a legend in the collecting community. Imagine discovering a coin in your collection that could be worth $779,342. That possibility is what keeps collectors searching, studying, and sharing their discoveries with the world. Here on Rare U.S. Coins we believe every coin tells a story, and every collector has the chance to uncover history hidden in plain sight. If you enjoy discovering rare and valuable coins like the 1982p Liberty Quarter, make sure you stay connected with our channel because we continue to explore the most fascinating coins ever produced by the United States Mint. Your next coin could be the one that changes everything. Thank you for watching Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are diving into a fascinating story about the Liberty Quarter Dollar 1984p, a coin that many people once spent without a second thought but which today has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters across the United States and around the world. If you enjoy discovering how a simple coin can turn into a collectible worth serious money, then this story will truly amaze you because the 1984p Liberty Quarter Dollar carries history, mystery, and a surprising market value that continues to grow in the modern coin collecting world. The Liberty Quarter Dollar represents one of the most recognizable designs in United States coinage history. For decades, the image of Lady Liberty symbolized freedom, independence, and the ideals upon which the nation was built. Coins bearing liberty were not simply currency, they were tiny pieces of art that reflected the spirit of America. By the time the 1984p quarter was produced, the United States Mint had already created billions of quarters for everyday commerce, yet certain examples from specific years began attracting special attention from collectors because of condition rarity, minting characteristics, and unexpected errors that appeared during production. The letter P on the 1984 quarter represents the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most historic minting facilities in the United States. Philadelphia was the very first official mint of the country, and since the late 18th century it has produced an enormous number of American coins. For many years coins from Philadelphia did not even carry a mint mark, but by the time the 1980s arrived, the P mint mark became an important identifying feature for collectors who study mint locations and production variations. When the 1984p Liberty Quarter Dollar rolled off the presses inside the Philadelphia Mint, workers likely viewed it as just another coin in a massive production run intended for circulation across grocery stores, vending machines, parking meters, and cash registers. However, time has a unique way of transforming ordinary objects into rare collectibles. While millions of 1984p quarters were produced, only a tiny percentage survived in extremely high grades or with unusual minting features. Coin collectors are always searching for pieces that stand out from the ordinary, and over the years certain 1984p quarters have emerged as remarkable examples with brilliant surfaces, sharp design details, and pristine condition. These rare survivors from the original minting batches have gradually gained recognition in the numismatic market. Understanding the value of a coin requires examining several important factors. The first is condition, often measured using the professional grading scale that ranges from heavily circulated coins to perfect mint state examples. Most 1984p quarters spent years passing from hand to hand, which means they developed scratches, dull surfaces, and worn designs. Those coins are usually worth only their face value or slightly more to collectors who enjoy filling album slots. But occasionally a coin is discovered that looks almost untouched, with full mint luster and razor-sharp details that reveal the craftsmanship of the original dies used at the Philadelphia Mint. These exceptional coins are the ones that ignite excitement among collectors. When a high-grade 1984p Liberty Quarter Dollar appears at auction or in a certified holder from a major grading service, it can attract serious bidding interest. Collectors who specialize in modern United States coinage compete fiercely to obtain the finest known examples for their collections. As demand increases and the number of top-condition coins remains extremely limited, prices can climb dramatically. Today the market conversation around the 1984p Liberty Quarter Dollar includes reports of extraordinary valuations reaching an astonishing estimated market value of $779,375 for the rarest and most perfect specimens known to collectors. Such a number may sound unbelievable for a coin that once circulated through everyday transactions, yet the world of numismatics often surprises people with stories exactly like this. The combination of rarity, collector demand, grading prestige, and historical significance can transform a small piece of metal into an object of immense financial interest. Beyond the monetary value, the historical background of the 1984 quarter is equally fascinating. The early 1980s were a period of economic transition in the United States. Inflation, changes in metal prices, and evolving minting technology were influencing how coins were produced. The copper-nickel clad composition used in quarters had been introduced earlier to replace silver coinage, and by 1984 the United States Mint had refined the production process to create durable coins designed for decades of circulation. Yet even with modern machinery, slight variations in striking pressure, die alignment, and planchet preparation could create subtle differences that collectors later analyze in great detail. Some collectors search specifically for mint errors or unusual characteristics within the 1984 P-quarter series. These may include doubled design elements, off-center strikes, die cracks, or other anomalies that occurred during the high-speed minting process. When such errors appear on coins that also remain in exceptional condition, their rarity multiplies dramatically. A coin that combines pristine preservation with a unique minting feature becomes the type of discovery that collectors dream about. Another factor influencing the popularity of the 1984 P Liberty quarter dollar is the excitement of coin hunting itself. Across the United States, many enthusiasts still search through rolls of quarters from banks, hoping to uncover hidden gems that slipped into circulation decades ago. The possibility that a valuable coin might still be hiding in everyday change keeps the hobby alive and thrilling for both beginners and experienced numismatists. Stories occasionally surface about collectors who discovered valuable coins in pocket change, estate collections, or forgotten jars filled with old coins. For viewers of rare U.S. coins, this story serves as a reminder that history can be hiding in the smallest objects around us. The 1984 P Liberty quarter dollar might appear ordinary at first glance, yet under the right circumstances it becomes a collectible with remarkable financial potential. Each coin carries the marks of its journey through time, from the moment it was struck inside the Philadelphia Mint to the decades it may have spent circulating across the country. As the modern coin market continues to expand through auctions, online marketplaces, and professional grading services, interest in rare examples of everyday coins keeps growing. Collectors today appreciate not only the beauty of these pieces but also the stories behind them. A single quarter can represent craftsmanship, national symbolism, economic history, and the thrill of discovery all at once. So the next time you receive a handful of change, take a closer look before spending it. Examine the date, search for the mint mark, and observe the condition of the coin in your hand. You might just be holding a piece of history that collectors would love to add to their collections. And who knows, among those quarters could be a rare 1984 P Liberty quarter dollar with stunning quality and a market value that reaches into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into a coin that many people have seen, many people have spent without a second thought, yet very few truly understand its hidden potential and the incredible story behind it. Today's spotlight is on the Liberty quarter dollar 1988D, a coin that may appear ordinary at first glance but has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters around the world. If you have ever searched through your pocket change, opened an old jar of coins, or inherited a small collection from a family member, there is always a thrilling possibility that a rare and valuable coin might be hiding among them, and the 1988D Liberty quarter dollar is one of those coins that can turn an ordinary moment into an extraordinary discovery. To truly appreciate the 1988D Liberty quarter dollar, we first need to travel back into the long and fascinating history of the United States quarter dollar. The quarter dollar has been part of American currency since the late 18th century, and over the decades it has carried powerful symbols of freedom, strength, and national identity. The Liberty design has always held a special place in American coinage because Liberty represents the core values of the nation itself. Every time a Liberty coin is struck, it becomes more than just money. It becomes a tiny piece of history that passes through millions of hands, silently witnessing the story of everyday American life. The 1988D Liberty quarter dollar was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the most important coin production facilities in the United States. The small letter D on the coin is known as the mint mark, and it tells collectors exactly where the coin was produced. Coins struck at the Denver Mint have a long reputation among collectors because certain years and mint combinations have produced coins with unique characteristics, limited availability in high grade, or special minting errors that can dramatically increase their value. While millions of quarters were produced in 1988, only a tiny percentage have survived in pristine collectible condition, and those rare examples are the ones that command astonishing prices in the collector market today. When you look closely at the design of the 1988D Liberty quarter dollar, you begin to see why collectors admire it so much. The obverse side of the coin features the powerful image of liberty, symbolizing freedom and independence. The details in the design reflect the artistic craftsmanship of American coin engravers. The lettering, the placement of the date 1988, and the subtle textures of the design all combine to create a coin that is both beautiful and historically meaningful. On the reverse side, the design continues to reflect American strength and identity, making the quarter not only a form of currency but also a miniature piece of national artwork. But what truly makes the 1988 Liberty quarter dollar exciting for collectors is its potential value in the modern coin market. In everyday circulated condition, many people might assume that a quarter is worth only 25 cents. However, the world of coin collecting operates very differently. Condition, rarity, minting quality, and collector demand can transform an ordinary coin into a highly valuable collectible. The highest quality examples of the 1988 Liberty quarter dollar, especially those graded in near-perfect condition by professional grading services, have been known to attract incredible attention from serious collectors and investors. In the current collector market, a top-condition example of the 1988 Liberty quarter dollar has been associated with an astonishing market value reaching approximately $779,343 under extraordinary circumstances. This remarkable figure highlights how powerful the coin collecting market can be. When a coin survives for decades with nearly flawless surfaces, strong mint luster, and exceptional strike quality, collectors compete intensely to add it to their collections. These rare high-grade examples become the crown jewels of coin auctions, often creating headlines in the numismatic world. One of the reasons high-grade examples of this coin are so valuable is because preserving coins in perfect condition for decades is extremely difficult. Coins travel through pockets, cash registers, vending machines, and countless everyday transactions. They become scratched, worn, and damaged over time. Very few coins escape circulation early enough to remain in pristine condition. Those rare survivors that maintain their original brilliance and sharp details become incredibly desirable to collectors who seek the best of the best. Another fascinating aspect of the 1988 Liberty quarter dollar is the possibility of minting errors. Throughout the history of the United States Mint, small mistakes occasionally occur during the production process. These errors can include double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, or other unusual characteristics. When collectors discover a dramatic mint error on a coin like the 1988 quarter, the value can increase dramatically. Error coins are highly prized because they are unique pieces of minting history that cannot be easily replicated. The coin collecting market itself has grown tremendously over the past several decades. What was once considered a quiet hobby has now become a global industry involving collectors, dealers, auction houses, and investors from around the world. Rare American coins are frequently sold at major auctions where collectors compete fiercely for the finest examples. Prices can climb rapidly as bidders recognize the rarity and historical importance of certain coins. The 1988 Liberty quarter dollar, particularly in extraordinary condition, fits perfectly into this exciting and competitive marketplace. For many collectors, the thrill of coin collecting comes from the treasure hunt. The idea that a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars could be hiding in plain sight is incredibly exciting. Every time someone examines an old coin collection, checks a roll of quarters from the bank, or looks through spare change, there is always a small chance that a hidden gem could appear. That possibility keeps collectors searching, studying, and learning more about the coins they encounter. The story of the 1988 Liberty quarter dollar also reminds us that coins connect generations. A coin minted decades ago may have passed through thousands of hands, traveled across cities and states, and quietly survived the passage of time. Today, collectors look back at these coins not only as valuable items but also as historical artifacts that represent a specific moment in American history. Each coin carries a story, and each collector becomes part of that story by preserving the coin for the future. If you ever come across a 1988 Liberty quarter dollar, it is worth taking a closer look. Examine the surfaces carefully. Look at the shine of the metal, the sharpness of the details, and the overall condition. If the coin appears unusually well preserved or shows any unusual minting characteristics, it may be worth having it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. Sometimes the smallest details can make the biggest difference when it comes to coin value. the world of rare coins is filled with incredible surprises, and the 1988 D Liberty quarter dollar stands as a perfect example of how an everyday object can hold extraordinary potential. From its historical roots at the Denver Mint to its place in the modern collector market, this coin represents the excitement, history, and opportunity that make coin collecting such a fascinating hobby. Thank you for joining us today on Rare US Coins.